So I will probably just say for a little moment that things were just kind of at the Hilton last night, and I had my reading glasses in my car. I didn't have them in the restaurant with me. It was a little hotel restaurant, and the hotel's in my own hometown. And somehow or another, I just got started going there to eat, and it just kind of happened that going down in that area for a concert where with this couple who invited me along, and going down into that little restaurant where I because they would sometimes go eat there when they came for the concert, and that was how I kind of got a little introduced to the ideal and thought it was such a neat little place to be. So decided I just would maybe try to come along, see some people there, maybe get to find out where they were. And I'd say that it was a good little place. And sometimes I'm getting to the point where I might kind of do some of my lives in random places. You never know where I'll do them, but I do like to go out to eat a lot to a lot of restaurants, and sometimes even just kind of like how it is. I mean, check my little virtual wallet with PNC online just to kind of make sure that have what I need for tips and all. But I say for all the times you all can come along, it'll be so nice to kind of see you all on here when you join the live. I know one thing is that things had gotten a little bit strange here and there, and kind of happened lately, whenever I kind of go in there and just order my food and order my drink, they don't charge me for my soda. I don't know why that is. I mean, there's probably some other places I've been where people have done that. I don't know what they think of me that makes them do that, but I know one thing for sure, everybody's just had their own thoughts about me everywhere we went, and sometimes it's just too hard to be too proud and honor yourself too much. So it's just kind of the thing where we all just have to watch out, look out for each other. I do want to say, whoever has joined, thank you all very much. Alone said hi. Sanam said hello. Well, hi, you all. I appreciate you all coming on. If you do subscribe to this channel, that'll be nice as well. And you'll get to see many more of my videos, many more of my wood carving things as they come along. You'll get to see much more, so much of what I've recorded over many years. And hi, May Cole. I'd say one thing for sure, it's the middle of the workday in my neck of the woods, so May Cole said hi. Hi. Thank you very much. I appreciate you reaching out. And I tell you, you all look like you might be from different parts of the world. So tell me what part of the world you're from, what country you're from. That would be interesting to know. Had somebody come on from Argentina last night and really appreciated that. Probably am going to lose a little track of who you all are. I'm from the United States. That's where I am right now. And that's where I record from. It's just kind of like I'd say about maybe 3:20 here in my part of the United States. Hey, buddy, I'm from India, currently in Russia. Well, thank you for sharing that. Somebody said you look good. Well, thanks. I tell you, people tell me I look good for my age. I'm older than I look. I'm 45 years old. Most people don't think that, but I probably also might look a little good because I try to get out and exercise in the gym when I can and try to work out when I can. Probably say it's kind of something I've done since I was 21 maybe. And I say with all this stuff coming around here, I appreciate the fact that so many of y'all have logged in and kind of reaching out in this live. And let's see, it says Monlee's Cuisine. Oh, thank you very much, Monlee. Thank you for saying hi. I appreciate you coming on, and it means a lot that you've reached out to and like that little pink hand. See, all you young people just use all those emojis that I don't recognize. Because I tell you, we just didn't have all that stuff in my days when I was a kid. And it just seems to be just a little bit of a newer thing now. And I just think it's neat to kind of look back on all the things that kids do these days. Even my little niece, she's 5 years old, and she just kind of has a lot of stuff up her sleeve that kids have these days. A lot different from my days. It says, Silas Goodwin said, "Bro, where is your chin?" This is my chin, but it's got a little whiskers on it. That's why you can hardly see it. And I say, Isabella Loves Zombies said hi. Silas Goodwin, you won't get sympathy from this. And I tell you, I don't know what you're talking about. No, TB, that question is off limits. We're not going to talk about that. That's not appropriate. So I say, do any of you all have any appropriate questions you want to ask? I'd be willing to answer them. And Silas, I don't need any sympathy. I don't know what you're talking about either. You're my idol. Well, I hope not. It's like, I mean, the thing of it is, everybody just kind of says it different ways. I mean, I know these days idols can just mean a lot in mainstream and stuff like that, but the way I grew up, idol was something that I was taught according to what the Bible said it was. Well, okay, TB, I know I might look at it, but I mean, I'm rocking back and forth because I'm autistic, and that is called stimming. It is what you do just to kind of calm your nerves. Can you shout out my little homie Gabe? Yeah, that word is his B-Day. Well, happy birthday, Gabe. I just want to say that. TB, okay. I look up to you. Well, that's great. If you watch a lot of my videos, that makes it even more wonderful. Maybe you might become a good woodcarver like me one day. Maybe a good artist of some kind. I would appreciate to know. Oh, well, don't worry about that, TB, because I tell you, the thing of it is, I appreciate your concern, but that's not a case. I mean, it's like when you kind of get more familiar with the autism spectrum, you'll kind of learn what people do when it comes to stimming. And Isabella, I appreciate you taking up for me, but just give him a chance. He probably just didn't know. So I say, whatever we're going to talk about, let's try to. Darian Manley says, BB, what's your favorite place to eat? I'd tell you, probably hard to decide on a favorite place to eat. I'd say probably any restaurant where I can get buffalo wings. That's probably my favorite thing. And I'd probably say steaks second of all. But I like to get the appetizers and the desserts out in little restaurant places. And Monley's Cuisine, thank you for saying hi. Darian Manley says hi. TB, how spicy? Well, it depends. I like buffalo wings. Buffalo spicy. That's kind of like my favorite, but sometimes at Chili's I get the Nashville hot. That's a hot kind. I've also, kind of tried things like habanero barbecue, and that's pretty spicy. And you ask how old I am? 45. I'm 45. And TB, apparently you like mid-spicy. Darian Manley, what is my favorite color? My favorite is black, and I'd say my second favorites would be red and blue. That's what I like. Well, cool outfit, but it's kind of interesting you say that. All it is jeans and an undershirt, reading glasses, and a ball cap. And what's your favorite animal? Is that your question, or favorite dinosaur? I'm having a little bit of trouble understanding the little sticker or emoji here. You spy with your little eye something white. Okay, it is probably the sheet of this bed or this comforter that is pulled over the bed. Maybe it's this light blue ceiling back here. Maybe it's this light blue wall, this white ceiling. Could be anything. Don't know exactly what you're referring to, but interesting little topic there. So, yes, I see that. We'll kind of let y'all know I took a few little pieces of art. I soak them in different kinds of oil, the wood carvings after I do them. That's how I finish them off and let them soak for about a week. Just took a couple out of the oil today and toweled them off. And sometimes when it comes to that linseed oil, you just have to kind of take those towels and wrap them up and throw them in the trash, or else, they will combust. I see you got little rabbits, or are those peace signs? I can't tell exactly. All you stickers that you kids use these days. It's kind of a little strange what I see. And I do want to also let you know, if any of you all are underage, I want you to have your parents' permission to be on this live. If you are going to be on this live, pancakes or waffles. I tell you, I like them both the same. I'd say I don't really have a preference between them. Isabel loves zombies. Said hi. Well, thank you for coming on. Appreciate you all here reaching out. Would like it if there's any of you all who haven't already subscribed. I would like it if you would subscribe. But again, if you're underage, I want you to have your parents' permission. And and if you're underage, I want you to have your parents' permission to be on this live. Otherwise, you are not to be on this live. That is what I am looking for. 29. Well, that's good. You're plenty old enough. That's great, but I mean, I didn't suspect you to be underage, but some of these people, I mean, just because of some of the words and phrases and stickers and emojis they're using, I don't know. Darian Manley, you're 23. Well, that's great. I'm kind of glad to have you on. And, I just know sometimes even Gen Zers who are probably all adults by now, I know that you all just kind of use that stuff as well. So it's just kind of one of those things that's just beyond my generation. Can you shout out my friend Melissa? Yes, I will. Whoever Melissa is, I give you a shout out on behalf of Isabella. And this is just places where the live can hopefully reach more. You're the same age of my dad. Well, I tell you, I'd say that sounds like a good thing, because I mean, sounds like your dad was 22 when you were born. I tell you, my parents weren't that young when I was born. They were in their 20s, but they weren't in their early 20s. I tell you that. And so I say the thing of it is that I'm not anybody's dad. I don't have anybody's kids. Never really wanted any, never wanted to have the responsibility of taking care of any. And you say cool. Yes, that is great. I'm kind of glad to see that somebody's kind of commenting in a way like that, saying some nice little words. It's wonderful what you all are saying and preaching and saying. And I mean, I'm commenting. I tell you, I'm just kind of getting things little words inside my head. Sometimes I talk inside my head when I do these kinds of lives, and whenever I just kind of do my videos as well. Once had a friend kind of tell me for my YouTube videos that to kind of get more subscribers and more followers and more views, to kind of make it sound like you're talking directly to the people and not talking inside of your head. That's just kind of the neat little thing I try to manage very well. And I say I hope that that any of you all, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, that you will. Maybe if you see some of my videos, you might learn a little bit more about how to be a wood carver. If it so interests you, I'd like to show you more. Maycole Perdoma, how old am I? Well, I've already answered that question, I think, before you came in the live, but I'm 45 actually, and I'm older than I look to a lot of people. That's kind of how it is. I mean, I know that that's a common question, but do want to also just say that, you know, you can pretty much do a live at any age, but I also, I mean, I don't know your age, but do also suggest to anybody who is underage that if you're going to be on this live, that you get your parents' permission. That is something I've said a few times here already. So whoever you all are, if you're new to this live, just let me know. You know, you can let me know what part of the world you're from, what country you're from, and you look nice even though your age. Well, thank you very much. You know, you can probably also see some of these whiskers are turning a little white. So that's kind of, you know, a little interesting thing to hear. But a lot of people say that. They say I don't look my age. They think I look about 30. But interesting thing is that when I was 30, people thought I looked 22. So it's always just kind of strange how all these little things happen in our lives. We, you know, kind of, you know, just look younger than we are sometimes. It's a little strange thing from one to the next of us. Sometimes we just don't see how it is, but it's been a common gene in my family to kind of just, you know, I mean, look a little younger than you are, and that's just kind of what gets a little strange here and there from one of us to the next. Tell y'all, I'm a hard-working man, but not a rich man. Left or right? What do you mean by left or right? Am I left-handed or right-handed? I'm right-handed, if that's your question. That's what it is. So I know a lot of you young people, y'all just use a lot of little abbreviated messages and questions. You all are just of such fewer words than we were in our days, and kind of strange how this little thing seems to work with us. And I say that this channel just seems to draw along a little more, just as more people come along, see what we see, hear what we hear. I say that it's going to be good to have more subscribers come along when you do. Be good if any of you all would kind of, you know, share some of my videos on your social media channels. Try to get more friends. Spell check. Oh, okay, spell check. I see. But the thing of it is that, you know, like whenever I'm typing on a computer, I like to type my words into Google and make sure I spell them correctly. A lot of people these days, if they're doing anything on a computer, they don't spell it correctly. And the fact that so many people, you know, don't know how to spell correctly is the reason why we have so much autocorrect these days. That's how that works. And sometimes autocorrect can be kind of a burden when it just kind of puts in the little strange little wrong words at the wrong time, and you just kind of don't know exactly how it is. It's kind of weird. I ate tacos yesterday. Well, that's great. I tell you, you know, I mean, I kind of like tacos myself. Do you prefer the hard shell or the soft shell? Is good. Yes, I see. And I tell you, I like most of what comes on a taco, but the one thing I don't like is tomatoes. I say no to that. Don't like them. And little strange happenings. Do you like the hard shell or the soft shell? And I see a little number one in red. And yes, I say that sometimes those little emojis you all use, they just are just kind of more the thing from your old days. Hard. Well, that's cool. I tell you, I like the soft. That I like the soft tacos better, and the soft little burrito shells as well. I could probably take a taco salad in a hard shell though. It that they can be pretty good, and sometimes I might take little hard chips along with some salsa. Sometimes I might like that. And there are some restaurants like Chili's and Cinco de Mayo where they will give you free chips and salsa while you wait on your food. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I say that. It's always just kind of little interesting things from one of us. I know it that I've even seen how at Taco Bell they have like had those spicy Doritos shells. Have you seen that? Oh, and a kitty cat. Yeah, interesting. Interesting little kitty cat emoji. I tell you, over the years of my life, I've had some friends who were girls who really loved cats, and I tell you, I made a lot of cats out of wood, and these days, little kitty cats are just among the things that I carve out of wood with a knife and a chisel these days, and make them out of all different kinds of wood, like walnuts, which is best to come. You say, okay, I eat burgers. Well, I might ask you a question. How do you like to top your burgers? What do you like to put on them to eat? That would be a neat little question. So, any questions we have here? And mustard and ketchup? Well, that's great. I tell you what I like on my burgers is I like jalapeno peppers on my burgers. Do you like that? Or what about onions? I like onions too. And fries, yes, I tell you, yes. Fries are good on the side. I say fries are a little too greasy for me. I have acid reflux. I can kind of eat fries that were baked in the oven, but not deep fried in a fryer. It's like most restaurants, the way they serve fries, they kind of like put them in this little metal type of screen pan, chicken wire, something like that, and they put them in there and then they douse them down into a big tub of boiling oil. That is how they cook them. They cook them in deep grease. Can you eat that? Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you subscribing. And I say, and what I was talking about a while ago, that's called a deep fryer. It's that's what they cook a lot of things in, like at McDonald's and stuff. If you're ever at the counter and you see back there behind the desk, you see they have that deep fryer where they have the fries and the nuggets and all that stuff that they like put into those little pieces of wire things and they dip them down into the grease. That's how they cook them. They get those things soaked with grease, filled with grease, and I tell you, you eat too much of that and it's going to make you sick. Do eat shrimp. Well, I might ask, how do you like your shrimp? Do you like it fried or baked or how? I mean, I can probably eat any kind of shrimp. I like cocktail shrimp with cocktail sauce. I get that from the Kroger seafood department. Sometimes out in restaurants like at Red Lobster, you can get fried shrimp, fried coconut shrimp, and you can get marmalade sauce with it. They have that at the Outback. Oh yeah, that's neat. I tell you, first place I got introduced to a shrimp cocktail was back when I was in my senior year of high school working in a job-based school program where I went out to this hotel and this chef had me kind of put a little tub of cocktail sauce in the middle and put little pieces of shrimp out on the ice. That was kind of neat. And I'd say, cocktail shrimp is much healthier for you than fried shrimp, I think. That's kind of how that goes. But tell you, you can even get fried shrimp at Long John Silver's and it'll be pretty good. And I tell you, if you ever go to Ramsey's Diner, you get fried catfish strips. They usually come with tartar sauce, but I hate tartar sauce, so I get the cocktail sauce instead. Wow, neat, I say. And I say that probably good to see how many. Raising Cane is good. Yes, it's good, but I'd say as for me, Raising Cane is not one of my favorites. My parents sometimes bring it home for us to have for lunch or dinner sometimes, and I eat it because it's there, but not really one of my favorites. I think that it's just probably, I'd say, a little bit too greasy. And to me, probably not the most tasty of all fast foods. I mean, I can handle it, but might get a little sick from it. Yeah, the sauce sometimes be good. Yes, I tell you, yeah, I do like that spicy little tan brown beige sauce that comes with the little, chicken strips from Raising Cane's. And I tell you, I think it's only been once or twice I've ever been inside of a Raising Cane's, but your sister is 25. Yes, I tell you, that's kind of neat. I'd say you all are probably close enough in age. I mean, I'm 45 and my sister turns 47 in like October, so I'd say she's kind of just as close to my age, and my brother is 24. Well, that's kind of neat. And you told me a while ago you were 23, didn't you? So it turns out you're the youngest of the bunch, it sounds like. And it sounds like each of you was born about a year apart from each other, it sounds like. It's just kind of different from one to the next. I have a brother who's like 3 years younger than me. Your little brother is 14. Well, that's great. So it turns out you must be the third of four, is what I'm understanding, it sounds like. And that's really neat, just learning more things about you all and who you all are, what you're doing. It's kind of interesting to find out. And I say it's good to have you all on here to hear a little more from you all. And it turns out by now it looks like everybody is going away, so it's time for me to end. Thank you all so much. I love mac and cheese. Well, that's great. I probably loved it too when I was a kid.